Yeah, you're feeling a
Yeah,
bit worse for wear.
yeah. So it's just something that we've picked up on before in a previous episode, but it, I woke up this morning feeling a lot worse than I should have done for the amount. Yeah, it just baffles me how, when in life did it change from you being able to drink every day at a higher volume and it affect you nowhere near as much as it.
Yeah,
Like when in life does it just go, nah, like
yeah. Well, I think you touched the touch there then, Lord. So, drinking every day. Not that I was ever proud of it, really, Lord, but when we was living in the pub, I basically was drinking every day because by the time I'd finish work, get back,
mm,
there was always at least one of the regulars that was outside. All right, Dev, yeah. And a lot of the time, they'd already buy me a pint as soon as they
yeah,
see the band pull up. So I had to be social. Luckily, with the dog, I could only have a couple, and I was like, no, I've got to take the dog out now. So obviously that builds a tolerance up, and then as we've got older, we don't drink every day.
yeah,
Um, but there's definitely a difference in the levels.
yeah,
I mean, even with last night with me, uh, so it was two of the big cans and then four of the smaller cans of the Desperado, and yeah, my stomach was just a bit
yeah,
ropey, felt a bit rough as I first got up, and yeah, just mainly tired is the
yeah,
worst thing because I'd fell asleep on the sofa at first, and then it was waking up, going back upstairs, and because you partly woke up, and I just couldn't sleep properly then. And then it didn't help with the dog. He's got a bit of a dodgy stomach as well today. So as soon as he knew that I was waking up, it was right. Come on, get me out of the
yeah,
house. And luckily, I had a full bag of roll, the poo bags with me, because trying to scrape that up off the floor when it's liquid. Sorry, if anyone's listening to this over breakfast, it's not the best thing to listen to, but it's something that you have to deal with when you're a dog parent.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, you went into town, didn't you? I don't know how
yeah.
you did that. To be fair,
Yeah, I mean, it hits different.
yeah,
Uh, that like everything's just different to how you like. You know, when you're young and you want it, you go out,
mm,
you want it. But like when we went into town, all I want to do is go. I just wanted to grab a coffee and go home. But obviously, why I'm so like, why is this so different? Because last weekend when the weather was, well, it was we had nice weather. Drinking in the back garden, I probably had the same amount to drink without the shots.
yeah,
And I know, yeah, the shots probably whatever, but I woke up fine, like nothing. And there's been previous times where,
yeah. Sorry, quick technical issue. That's why it's going to be a bit of an awkward break. So, you,
yeah, no, I was just saying, you know, I think it depends on the venue as well and the social aspect of it.
yeah, yeah.
But also, that's what I want. When do men socialise from a certain? So obviously now we're 30 plus. When do you socialise without going to the pub? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think when did I see most of the lads not in a pub environment. Do
Uh,
look, I wouldn't call him up and go,
yeah, you
do
don't.
you want to go for a walk? But at the same time,
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? Like, when does does that never stop now? Is that why do I like my mates because I like drinking with them?
I think it's circumstantial. So we've done it a couple of times where we've taken the dogs out and gone to like Sutton Park or whatever. I suppose if we had kids, then it would be a similar setup where we'd go out day trips, parks,
Yeah,
theme parks or whatever. Uh, but in general, I think it's the age old tale of it's peace away from the other half. So you go to have a drink with the lads and that,
mm,
reminisce on the good old days. But yeah, I mean, again, apart from us going to Tom Segura the other week, and
yeah,
then
no,
obviously doing
yeah.
this, there's not much.
Obviously, yeah. So like when you have the stuff like that, concerts and that, but
Mm,
then there's that social drinking aspect to it. Like obviously, our mate was sorting us out at,
yeah, yeah, the
at the comedy show, like
yeah,
with the beers. But
Cash in hand job, eh?
yeah, so I just thought of something. When do you see your mates at a certain age where it doesn't include a drink? Because that's like it. Just I woke up and I just had this thought, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's because drinking isn't the same now. Like with me, I just want to sit, get comfortable, have music, the right music, not too loud,
Yeah,
but not low. So that right medium,
yeah.
and
So
just
you're not shouting at
yeah,
people
yeah,
that you're with.
and
But we've been like that for years, though.
no,
To be fair.
yeah, yeah. But it it's weird because obviously went into town and
Into the club.
it's fucking shit. Like, it was just terrible.
We're definitely too old for clubbing. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I haven't done it for years. In Coventry, I've only been on one night out to
yeah.
the club. Um,
Good.
I don't even know what the names of them
No.
are or anything, and it's just shit.
Yeah. The thing I said I wouldn't do, and I haven't done it because when we went out, I didn't pay. I would never pay to get into a venue. Like,
No.
you, why you pay? And it's empty. There's
Mm,
like fucking 20 people and you want £5.
I know. But
Fuck
we used
that.
to do it. I remember how many times we'd leave like the pub, go up to town, go into one club, pay like £6, £7, whatever, getting in.
Yeah.
Then after an hour, leave there, go somewhere else, pay a
Yeah.
tenner, and it's like I remember coming back home some days and you've got 4 or 5 different stamps,
Yeah.
and so you're spending like best part of £50 just getting into places.
Well, we went uptown, and he was. I've never seen uptown. They give you wristbands now, so you know, like you know when you're abroad and you get like £1 off entry,
Yeah,
like 50% off a drink or whatever. They do all that now.
I suppose that's probably some daft thing where you could get ink poisoning or something from the stamp, maybe. I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it is. I mean, we've mainly you tend to do it more often than me. Just random trips out to the club, but it's I think pretty much from the age of 21 we got tired of it because I remember early on we did probably just over 12 months of doing Broad Street, and then we started going to the gay quarter, didn't we? Which was Her Street, was it?
Yeah.
And then even that only lasted probably not even 12 months because the bouncers started getting annoyed that we wasn't actually gay, which was stupid because,
Yeah, discriminating against me.
well, yeah, oh, it's Pride Month, by the way. Happy Pride Month. But yeah, I remember just going there and it was just a different atmosphere. That they were always there to enjoy the night, which obviously we wanted to. And there was no dramas, was there?
No.
Yeah.
And also, like, in those clubs, you used to get the men just dancing, like, in thongs.
Yeah. I remember one of the first nights when we went out there and it was like...
There was a hench jacked geezer just like...
Yeah, there was a drag queen like, that walked in and like, it's the first time I'd seen that in real life.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I remember watching like, Lily Savage and whatever, like, but seeing it and it was a big geezer, just fully dressed, and I remember all of us just staring at him like, what the fuck? We knew what we was walking into, but we wasn't expecting it.
There was that club, was it called DV8, where you paid £12, and that
Yeah.
was, so you'd paid £12.
And then it was like £1 a drink or
no,
something.
it was, drinks were free up until 2 o'clock.
Right.
And then I think it was £1 a drink after that or something like that.
I remember it was the cheapest of
Yeah,
alcohol
yeah, so
anyway,
you
weren't
could
it?
pay £12 and that was it.
Yeah,
You'd done all
because
night.
it literally was just the cheapest of vodka. I think it was the VKs or not
Yeah,
even
it
VK,
was-
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was but they were sound alright. You know, you go there was no dramas. You'd have your drinks, have a laugh, and then go back home. But I know we soon went from Broad Street and that because it was just too many people out having a couple of lines of marching powder and just out for the fights. Always wanting a fight. I mean, a few times. Not that we ever looked for it, but a few times we was in the scraps and I got headbutted out of the blue the one night as well. Big bloody Harry Potter scar on my forehead. Yeah, just not about that life. Just can't be bothered with it. I remember early on, really, it was once we started going to like the Raven and that, it was right, chill night, few beers, listen to some good music. bite to eat, and then just go back
Yeah.
home. No, it's easy drinks, easy nights. It's just it's too much really. But back to the original lot, it definitely hits different. I know that so I can drink Guinness all night, wake up, sound, no dramas. But if I drink different, so like with the Desperados, didn't have much of it, felt a bit rough. But if I drink it out of bottles, it hits different then still as well. I can drink that, loads of them, and still feel alright. The different ales, drinking with whiskies and that. You have different personalities during, like when you're drinking these things as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, the most renowned, Stella, wife beater. That's why I don't touch it anymore. She needs it sometimes. And the camera's gone off again. Right, we'll try again. The camera died again. This will be the last time we try it with the camera. But, right, I've lost track where we was really with going out to the club and that.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, just what we touched on before, where it just hits different.
It definitely does.
The older you get.
Yeah. But again, like he says with the socialising, I haven't seen our mate Tony for a long time. I think I've only seen him once this year actually. But I've got him coming over today because it is FA Cup final day. History, first Manchester derby in a FA Cup final.
Come on, City.
Yeah, you can City to win all you want. You know, so we'll move on to this now.
No, quick question.
Go on.
If Man City win the FA Cup and the Champions League, is that team better than Man U's team that won the treble?
Well, it's obviously...
If you put those two teams together...
It's obviously debatable, but obviously football's different these days, isn't it? It's a lot less physical. There's, the game demands are different. There's more games. The squads are bigger. You think with Pep's Man City, he's got a squad of probably like 18, 19 players, main squad that he constantly rotates with. Whereas United, with the 99 treble team.
No, obviously they had didn't have to Sheringham, Solskjaer on the bench.
Yeah.
They had good players as well.
Yeah, they did, but they didn't rotate as much.
No, they kept the 11 was pretty much the 11.
You could pretty much.
You could tell who the 11 was anyway.
Yeah, every
Keane,
game
Scholes,
it was always going to.
Obviously, Keane
Yeah.
and Scholes didn't play that game, did they? Scholes was injured.
Scholes was suspended one of the games.
I can't.
It
was a long time.
Munich, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
But no, you are right, actually. You could name the 11 any.
Yeah, pretty much every game. Yeah. So obviously it was different. I mean, I've had to laugh. I've seen a few of these combined 11 teams and this, and
What, of this year? Sorry.
yeah. So with Man City's and United's 99 treble winning team, and Noel Gallagher, he's won yesterday. He's got the whole one. He's just Man City's players.
No.
And it's he's got Nathan Ake at left back over Dennis Irby. Look, he was just a phenomenal player anyway, not just as a left back. He could play right, could put him up on the wing and that. He was just out of this world really for that time. And to put Nathan Ake above him.
No, I mean he's had a great season, but no, you are right.
Yeah.
And not to have Roy Keane or Scholes.
Yeah, I mean that's a big debatable one. Who would you rather have, De Bruyne or Scholes? I mean,
I would fit all three.
Yeah,
with
you'd have
Keane,
to.
yeah. That's the only anyone that knows football. That's the only one.
Yeah, because you can't do it as a 4-4-2.
No,
the way that the old United team was.
And
That's
that's
a
a
big
great midfield, though.
4-3-3.
Imagine Keane,
Well,
Scholes,
yeah.
and
Keane as the CDM, and then Scholes and De Bruyne as the
Just-
forward two,
yeah.
the attacking midfielders, and
imagine Haaland up front with that.
Haaland up front, yeah, and then I mean,
yeah.
I'd put in Giggs over Grealish, even though he has had a better season this year.
Yeah, no, I'd
compared
say.
to last year, and then I mean, again, you've got to go Beckham really, because his ball was always on the dot. So with Haaland in the box, Beckham just putting them in every time.
With De Bruyne and Scholes, yeah. No, that.
Yeah, so I've had to laugh at a few of these combined, but they're already jumping the gun saying that they're the best Premier League team ever and this and that. I think Pep's underestimating United a bit. he's already said that he's playing his number 2 goalkeeper. That's guaranteed.
Yeah, I think he's played all through the tournament, now, hasn't it?
Yeah, he has. I get that.
So look, I think in a way that you gotta.
Yeah, you gotta have a bit of loyalty in that sense.
You know, you gotta give the player some loyalty in terms of you got us here.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done well. He hasn't done bad when he's come in. I can't remember his name.
You know, most of Man City's bench would start for most of the rest of the league, really. So I'll get it on that sense, but I feel like that's the only way United have got a bit of a chance, really, is with Pep underestimating them and playing a weaker team. Because United's team's weak as it is. Potentially Anthony Martial's injured again. Mr. Signos.
That Anthony. Oh, mate. Let's just deep this a little bit.
Go on then. What's your reviews about him?
Is there anyone besides because Harry Maguire was alright when he come in. Is there anyone that's cost so much and had such a bad season?
Pogba. Cost more. Mr. Signos. He played 27 minutes the other week and got injured again straight away.
Yeah, but they got him for free, didn't they? Juventus off Man U.
Yeah, Juventus got him for free both times. We paid 90 odd million for him.
Yeah, but when he came in, he done alright, didn't he? The first season, he done more than Anthony.
Well, no, not really.
He's not quick.
It's his first season in the Prem, so we've got to take that into note. He's got more goals and assists than Grealish last season. His first season at Man City.
That's true.
He's had a couple of stupid little injuries, which that's going to be something to keep an eye on. And a lot of the media have attacked him because he's coming with that Brazilian flair. This bloody round the world, bloody spinning on one leg, pirouetting, ballerina stuff.
Yeah, they don't need that.
We don't need it, but when you look at the other parts of his game, he's aggressive. He actually tracks back and defends, where Rashford barely does that still. Sancho doesn't do it. He's got the passion, and that's something that has been missing with most of the United team for a long time. Bruno brought it in. He's been running on fumes for months now. So there's not enough quality players to really push on. But we had a long segment of football last week, so we don't need to keep talking about it. But I do think, Pep continues underestimating, then United are in for a chance today. And I think if United do beat them, then the confidence will be dropped and Inter Milan will beat them next week in the Champions League final.
I don't know. I think this game's totally win or lose difference, that game. Because if you lose it, it's going to make them want to win it even more. And also, if they win, I think nothing. I know he's saying the mentality would change, but I think win or lose this game, they're just going to go full out, improve upon one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, they need to. They are definitely one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world at the moment.
Yeah, no.
But they've got their history to hold on to, because obviously no other team's done the treble. So it's going to be an interesting day.
So you got your mate Tony coming around.
Yeah, Tony's coming round, which is another part of the reason for getting this done out early. So I'll get back, quickly edit. Well, it's not going to be as quick as I'd like now with the camera issues, but edit, upload, and then get on the beers. Which I know we've just contradicted ourselves. Not wanting to do it every day, but it's not often that your teams are in a final, so you got to just play through it, ain't it? Well, be a interesting day, and then I'm working all tomorrow and Monday anyway, back on the exhibition shows. Off of all that now, little touch on some of the week just gone. So I saw it the other day. There's a baby formula crisis. So I've seen it over the last few months. The price of the formula has been going up, and so a lot of these parents are struggling to buy the formula, feed the kids or the babies. And I don't know if it's just a man's way of thinking about it, because obviously we haven't got kids and we don't have to buy the formula or anything. But I don't see why they just can't breastfeed then. I get with some there is issues, but you know there can't be the majority of people can't breastfeed. And I probably should have done some background check onto it. So you think when we was babies and obviously before us, there was next to no baby formula, you know, a substitute for natural breast milk. But you think of how many kids have got all these allergies and that now, and then like the autism, ADHD, and everything. I wonder if that's something contributed by how many parents are actually giving the baby formula.
No,
Yeah,
I think that's just. I think that's coming to light more. But going back to you, why don't everyone breastfeed? Obviously, if the kid's in nursery, because you have to work.
The formula is up to 12 months.
Yeah.
So I think after, like, 6 months, they can start having like the mushy baby food and that. So surely they can just do the breastfeeding up to when they can start having food.
I have no idea.
I know. Yeah. I know it's probably just a man's way of thinking about it.
Why would there be less of it?
It's not that there's less of it. It's just the prices have gone ridiculous. So let's just say.
What's shot the prices up? What would that be?
I really don't know.
What's that? Everything's going up.
Everything's going up. Yeah. Because when I first saw it the other month, it was a story because parents were stealing the baby formula from like Asda and stuff. Which again I think is a bit stupid because if I'm sitting on security and I'm watching a mother who's clearly struggling, nicking the baby formula, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'll be like, alright, yeah, crack on. You know, if it's stuff to physically feed themselves, then carry on. But you know, if they're in the electrical aisle stealing a bloody, a grooming kit or a TV or whatever, then yeah, put them over and say no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. If there'd be more leniency if he was obviously for an honest reason.
Yeah.
Stealing for need, not for want.
Yeah.
But I haven't, as you know, I don't really listen to news, so that's new to me, mate.
Yeah, it was just what I caught the other day while I was in this house, and I don't know, it probably was loose women where they were talking about it, and I just thought, why is it?
Interesting chat on there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always interesting chat on there, yeah. Well, a few of them have give their opinions rather on Naughty Philip.
It'd be because they're all everyone's friend, and then when something happens, that's it.
Oh, they have to look after themselves.
Yeah, that's it. In that game, you've got to. You always I bet all of them's like, I knew we weren't right.
Yeah. I actually watched Eamon Holmes' interview for that GB News.
To be fair, he's always said there was.
Yeah, he said it for a long time, and he didn't hold back. I did have to laugh. He was calling him out on a load of things and saying how with Holly, we've heard distance and herself from Philip, and now that her and Alison are like best mates and this and that, they go out on like nights out together and whatever. It's like, but you didn't hear none of that.
Yeah.
Before anything happened with Philip.
What I said last week. I think that's the easiest job in TV. I do believe it because I've seen a clip of her. She'd done it with, what's his name, Darren O'Leary.
Yeah, mate.
And I was like, oh my god, it was just so shit.
I know. It's ridiculous.
I think that is the easiest job in TV after me.
Well, I had to laugh again because, so with Eamon coming out of the stats, when it was Holly and Phil, Monday to Thursday, and then Eamon and Ruth used to do on Friday.
Oh, is that what? Okay. They only used to do 4 days a week as well.
Yeah. So
definitely is the easiest job in TV.
But he says how the stats were always higher, like the viewing stats were higher when it was himself and his wife on the Friday as opposed to the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So he had to give that much jabbing. And then I've been trying to find the full interview that Phil gave with the Sun, but I can only see little clips here and there. And the one of them that I saw, I felt like throwing my phone as I was looking at it. He's trying to play the defence card now, and he says, I understand how Caroline Flack felt when she had a bit of abuse, and obviously she ended up taking her own life. And it's just, he's brought his daughters into it, saying that if they weren't there, they were like guardian angels watching over him the past week. Because he had these urges to just end it all. And I thought, it's you can see he's forcing out these crocodile tears, and it's just absolute joke.
I think what's interesting from him, like obviously we touched on it last week. Obviously he's had like a really good career, and then obviously he's come out as gay, which is totally wrong after kids, in my opinion. And obviously everyone's supporting him, so he's boosting him up even more. And now like the drop. It's a hard one, mate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's a heavy fall from where he was, because he was. Everyone did love him, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, the memes have been funny with it.
I think it's so dropping now, as we mentioned with the funeral. Sorry, not the funeral. Obviously, when they skipped the queue.
Yeah. So it was part of the funeral.
Yeah.
Visiting all of that.
Yeah.
It was.
It's just started slowly from there, hasn't it? Like the drop.
Yeah, but there's been. I mean, it's been coming for a long time. I know I said it to you before we started recording, but as I was going through the notes when I do prep for the podcast, it was one of the first notes that I had, and we started it 3 months ago. So it's been in the works. It's been ready to come out. Because I think it's like Matthew McKay or something. Again, I should have the stats really. But the lad that he was doing the naughty with, it was in 2018 when he pushed him out of from the background of This Morning, and he ended up working on the Loose Women setup and that. So it's been coming for a long time. He's been holding his tongue, and makes me laugh because you see one public outlet posting the pictures of the pair of them with all the faces on show, and then you get other ones blurring his face, and it's like we've just seen that same picture of Phil, Matt, and Holly on the chair at the set of This Morning.
I wonder if he's
had
had some injunctions against some papers there.
But he ain't gonna have much money to keep paying for these injunctions, younger, is he? And Phil's soon gonna run out of money. That's probably why it's all come out, because he's starting to run out of money.
You reckon? No, he must have a bit of money. Well, saying he's divorced, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he would still have some money, but these super injunctions, you're looking at like 20 grand a month or something for someone to sit there, take down every bit of social media coming out about it, making sure the papers don't publish any stories. Once you start losing that money, you can't pay it then, can you? So yeah, it's I know we touched a lot on it last week. It's an unfortunate situation for him, but it's self-inflicted, isn't it? So.
Oh, sorry, no, obviously we are picking up a lot where we spoke about last week. I seen one of these Just Stop Oil protesters actually get arrested.
Oh, did you?
The first one, on TikTok,
Oh, right. So
and everyone was clapping. Literally, I didn't see what happened beforehand. All it is just someone, the police come over, arrest these two ladies, and literally everyone claps, walks them off. But they're all like, you're hurting her. But you never see them. Obviously, you never see the protesters saying that when they're arresting people trying to move them out the way. Just obviously because we're picking up a lot of that. And I said we haven't seen nothing from the police yet, but I've actually seen one.
I did actually see another one. I think it was yesterday, where it was. It looked like the Just Stop Oil protesters again, because there was orange jackets and stuff. But as I saw the sign, it was Insulate Britain. And so this chap, he's got his phone out and he's going over because there's a queue of traffic already.
Oh, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, and he's saying to the police, can you just move them? They don't want to pay to insulate their own homes, so they shouldn't be forcing us to lose out on money going to work and whatever. So just move them. And the police officer's still doing the same. We can't touch them, can't do nothing.
But if you touch them, it's common assault.
So all that conversation's a part of it. He's like, "What? I'll move them then." No, because I'll have to arrest you. He's like, "Well, you move them so we can all carry on." And you can hear an ambulance in the background as well, trying to get through all this traffic, and they just don't get up, don't move. You'd think they'd have a bit of common sense and go, "All right, yeah, there's an ambulance. Come on, let's move out of the way. Once the ambulance is gone, if we can, we'll get back in the road again." They're just idiots.
I just don't think it's good for your public opinion. Like, if it affects the public, and that,
Yeah,
It's not going to make you like them.
I know because
Like their course as well.
yeah, you know you've got the rail strokes which are again going on today. They're doing it right. When I see them, they're on the sides of the roads. They've got the big signs and
Yeah.
that, and you know they're doing a polite protest that's not harming people. Now I get it; it's harming people with the logs of today.
Yeah.
To London.
It's tactical why they've done it today.
Yeah.
It's to show how much they're worth, basically.
Yeah. So I get it is a disruption that way, but there is other means of travelling. Then you've got your coaches and obviously just a car or whatever. So yeah, they're doing it the right
I
way.
don't just have to. They'll just want more money.
Yeah, because the same with everything, isn't it? That you know, that inflation's gone up, but wages haven't gone up to compensate. Because again, the teachers, I mean, it cracks me up. They have so many holidays, half terms, bank holidays, 6
Yeah,
week
'cause you get
holidays.
6 weeks off. Is it 2 weeks for Christmas, a week for Halloween,
Yeah.
a week in May?
Yeah, and then there's several half terms, which are like 2 weeks.
So you get
breaks
up
and
about-
that as well.
You get about 10 weeks off.
There's more than that, definitely. I reckon.
Yeah, about like 12
I'd probably still say it's a bit more than that.
12 weeks.
Still, they have a lot of time off, and they've still been doing all this protesting as well, which fair enough. You want your pay.
Yeah, you want to get the most you can in, I suppose.
Yeah, I do understand it. Then again, because that's disrupting, because the parents, well, they should take the day off to look after the kids, but it's just whether they actually do. I mean, as always.
But then it's like, you saying they should do, but then it's like, if that parent needs to go to work to pay the bills, it's like...
Yeah, it's still damaging.
Yeah.
So I know when we was kids, that wouldn't have made a difference. I mean, the amount of bank holidays and that, mum still went to work, and I'd just be in the house. I mean, even just a typical Saturday morning, I'd get up. I know I've already said this, but I'd have my routine, cup of tea, biscuits, watch Power Rangers and all that. And a lot of the time, be in the house on my own, and that's from the age of 6 upwards.
Yeah, but don't forget, Joe, you had Epic TV.
Yeah, I was never distracted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, Yeah, again, I know it was different times as well, wasn't it? It's the paedophiles were out there, but it just it was a bit harder to get groomed, and that really wasn't it. Everyone had a paedophile on the corner of the road, didn't they? That you just knew to avoid that house. Everyone did, though, didn't they?
Why did
I know.
And nothing got done about it.
Yeah, and it's like, there probably wasn't even a pedo, but everyone, as a kid, thought that's the pedo's
One
house.
person said it.
Yeah, because I remember, so technically my nan's, but it was me stepmom's mum's. There was the house right by there, and it just looked like a typical one that you see on these, the kids' horror films, where it's a rundown house, overgrown bushes and grass and everything in the front garden, and you'd be terrified if your ball went into the garden, because you're like, oh no, that's the pedo's house, and you do rock paper scissors or something to go and get the ball, and you'd run, grab it, and then do one, and oh god, yeah. I mean, whether that still happens, I don't know, but it is a bit easier for these pedos these days. I mean, it's easier for them to get the content, so it should be easier to catch them, but again, that's another one back to Philip, isn't it? I'm sure they'll check through his computer soon now. But yeah, I mean, again, back in the day. So, again, when you'd be out playing, it would literally be all day, wouldn't it? Just playing
Yeah, literally.
games at Wembley, Kirby.
Just go out, running for a drink.
Yeah.
Your mum used to call you in for food, and you never used to want to go in.
Nah. And you try
And you done it really quick.
Yeah,
go back out.
scran it down, and then run back out. And it would literally just be until it's pitch black that you'd be out. And I remember doing it so often. Even in the snow and the rain and that, you'd be soaked through, and then sitting in front of the fire afterwards, with the towel round, you're trying to dry back out. And you don't see none of that these days, really, do you? I remember it'd been probably 3 or 4 years since the last time I'd seen any kids actually playing Gerber. I remember because I drove past, I was like, oh shit, they're actually playing it, though. But yeah, I mean, again, it's all technology now, isn't it? They'd rather sit there and play on the PlayStations and the Xboxes. I think Minecraft's still big, isn't it? I don't know really, but I know we had computers when we was kids, but we didn't really. Not until we was teenagers, really, was it? That we'd sit and play FIFA for a couple of hours and stuff, and it would only really be like we'd play for a bit, and then we'd still go out and play football and that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's social aspect, isn't there? Because they just talk to each other over.
Yeah, on the
computers
headsets
and
and
that,
that, don't they? Yeah, it's strange how things change like that. But again, I suppose that stems back to with
I
the
suppose there's-
ADHD and all that.
and-
It's the retention
and
trying to just concentrate on the screen instead of being out running around.
it's not how it used to be. It's a lot more. It is down. A lot more.
It's more chaotic. There's more cars on the roads and stuff, so hence why you can't really play Kirby everywhere. And again, there's not enough to do, is there? You know, anytime when I'm walking the dog around the park or mine, they've got the cage, which is like the little AstroTurf football pitch, and it's like when there's one group of kids in there, there's never going to be another group. So even with that aspect, you think when we was kids, if there was someone already playing in that, you'd walk over and say, "Yeah, you just want a game," and then you just there'd be like 20 people on each team, and that just in this small cage, wouldn't there? But I suppose they don't have the confidence to do stuff like that these days now, do they? You know, even I mean, it's a lot of the attitude with these younger kids as well. When I was walking a dog yesterday,
I was going to say that because they talk to people like shit on the mic, knowing that they'll never see them.
yeah.
So yeah.
Well, yeah. So with yesterday when I was walking the dog, there was the three youth. They were probably like 14 or something.
Man down.
Yeah, they had the McDonald's milkshakes or whatever in their hands on the bikes, and as always, do I got my headset on, listening to whatever, and the one of them just decides to bark at my dog, and I'm like, luckily, he's a dopey sod, he's not going to retaliate or anything, but one, what if he did? What if he saw that as a threat and jumped up at it? It's like, he'd be fucked there. And then just to have the actual cheek to think that it's acceptable. So I've turned around, like, "You're right," and he's just quickly popped his head down and sulked on. And I thought, you know, you're not acting like you're not coming off as a hard man in front of your friends by barking at a dog. Like, I just don't see the thought process that went through his head. You know, and, like, again, if he was on his own, he wouldn't have done it. But he's got his two mates to back him up, which I would have just slapped all three of them, to be fair. But you know, it's just it cracks you up. I remember years ago, I pulled up outside a shop, round the corner from Mum's, and there was a big group of them all running around.
And that where was it?
Yeah,
Pizza.
Yeah. I think it used to be the Prince Al pub or whatever, and now
that's the one.
there's a Lisa and stuff there. So the big group of them, they're running around, and they're running between the cars, and the one of them sort of body slammed into this one car. And so as I've got out of the van, because they're near the van, I said, "You touch my fucking van, I'll slap the head off all of yours." And I walked in the shop, I thought, "Oh shit, why did I just say that?"
Yeah,
because
sometimes you should just leave
yeah, because it was initial reaction, thinking, "Don't damage my van," because of what I've just seen you do to that car. I'm thinking, I'm going to come out, they're going to stab the tyres up, or they're going to smash the window or something. And surprisingly, as I've got out, they'd all just ran off. So I intimidated them enough to do one. So I was quite proud of that. But, you know, that was just a lucky chance. You know, it could have gone completely the other way. They could have followed me in the shop and stabbed me or something.
Just not worth saying stuff anymore.
It isn't, no. Which that's just ridiculous because, you know, there's no fear factor with them. You know, I wouldn't have dreamed of doing anything like that when I was a kid. You know, again, there was another one the other day asking, well, there was a little group and they'd got the girl of the group to come over and ask for a cigarette. And I'm like, "Don't smoke." And I could hear the lads like, oh, "Can you go get us some there?" So, no. But again, because I've got my headset on and I could see them all like near me, lurking around. And it's like, I have to stop, I have to pause the podcast or music, whatever I'm listening to, take the headphone back. It's like, "Can I have a cigarette, please?" I'm like, "Don't smoke." Like, even if I did, I'm not going to give them because the price of them are ridiculous and that. And they've all got the vapes there and that as well because they were puffing away. So why do they still want a cigarette? It's like, so I says no. they're asking if I can go get some. I'm not even by a shop.
Yeah.
You know, I would have had to probably walk another 10 minutes out of the way to go and get
Yeah,
some.
to do them a favour.
Yeah, and I'm like, nah, I'm alright, tar. And I just put my headphones back on. I know they were saying something, but I just walked away because I can't be bothered. Like, the cheek of them to just. I mean, we never done anything like that, asking people to go and get alcohol or anything, did we?
No, but I remember when I was like about 8 or 9, my dad used to send me to the shops with a piece of paper to buy him cigarettes.
Well, yeah, because it was different back then, wasn't it?
You used to get like Whistler and everything.
Yeah. So, not that it wasn't me, but so my uncle, well, a few of the uncles, they'd go to the shop as a child and do the same, get Nan her bottle of wine, whatever it was, pack of cigarettes, and because they knew, like, oh, it's one of the Devlin boys, we'll just hand them over. So to go to the shop with the £5, get all this for Nan, and then go back. You know, obviously you shouldn't do that these days anyway. Like, but yeah, it's just mad how times are different really with that sense, isn't it? It's strange. Yeah, enough of that reminiscing then. So something that I say a lot of. It's like a lot of videos with people doing woodwork and DIY videos and all that. So I've seen a lot of these painting videos the last couple of days, and I've noticed that they're actually cheating. So you know me, not that I really enjoy painting, but I'm good at it. But what they're doing is, instead of cutting in and following right in the corner, they're actually transferring onto the other wall and doing a straight line.
Okay.
And I've only just noticed it, and these videos are getting hundreds of thousands of likes and views and all that, but they're not actually painting right. So I'm just calling them out, all these cheaters. Because even with the skirting board,
isn't that just like there's no right way, just your preference?
No, but when you know what you're looking for, and now that I've seen it once, I'm seeing it on all these videos, and yeah, they're cheating. I mean, if you call yourself a painter and decorator, and you've got to run masking tape along the ceiling so you can cut in against the ceiling, which even that, I mean, it was a German man, and I'm not too clued up on my German, but he run the tape just, you know, a couple of millimetres from the ceiling, and then he starts painting along that, so he's creating a line on a featured wall of the paint from the ceiling. So it's just, it's a bit naughty, all these people trying to say that they're, you know, a top class painter when they're not. They're cheating. So I thought I'd just bring that one in to call them out. You know, I haven't had a bit of a rant for a couple of weeks, have I? You know, I mean, I've seen some promotional videos of Sam Smith. I mean, he's lost a little bit of weight, so but at least Photoshop's lost him a bit of weight. Another strange one that I saw.
Jay, just to stop you right there. It's not him. It's them. So.
Sorry, yeah, it's Pride Month, isn't it?
Them.
Yeah, I suppose I should use a bit of respect.
No, I just want to get you clued up, Jay. Like,
educate me, Ash. Educate me. You know,
no.
Correct me. I'm not PC enough. So I saw this strange one. It's not strange. It's a bit sad. Wild and out star Jackie O died at the age of 32. So yeah, obviously I hadn't heard of her either. So real name Jacqueline Smith, part of the US sketch comedy and rap battle improv game, hosted by Nick Cannon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So as I was looking through, so she died having surgery, and it was a mummy makeover she was having.
Oh, what's that?
Exactly what I thought. So I've got the list of it here. So I'm assuming she's just had a child, and then she's had a tummy tuck, breast augmentation, breast lift, liposuction, and vaginal rejuvenation surgery.
So she's having all, but is that all in one go? No, it can't be all in one sitting, can he? All that like
all the breast stuff is together anyway. But so she's gone to have this mummy makeover almost immediately after giving birth, and there's been complications, and like she's died from it.
She's only young as well.
32, younger than us,
Uh,
and it just stems back to the social media and all that of this day and age, of having to like try and present yourself as this immaculate like specimen. Like you've just had a child. People shouldn't care what you look like anyway.
I
But
think
to
because
have
obviously
to-
she's on TV.
yeah, it's
I know you're saying it shouldn't be that way.
it
but-
shouldn't be, and it is a shame. As I say,
But everyone has that kind of, everyone worries how they look, I suppose, to a degree.
yeah, but they shouldn't do. I know it's me from my perspective, and that I've been doing this intermittent fasting for a few months now, and that's dropping the weight. I'm not changing anything dietary wise and that, but I'm doing that for me. I'm not doing it because
Yeah, but
anyone
that-
else makes any
that-
comments. And
For her, that might have been for her. Do you know what I mean? Like, she might have looked at the body after and been, I don't like it. It never used to be that way.
yeah,
But I understand, obviously, it probably is a little bit more because she's on TV. And
yeah.
that, but it might have just been for her. But regardless, it's still.
It's a shame, and it's a shame that people have to think about that and try and force their own. Because it's not an agenda, is it? But or the narrative when you see these magazines and that, I know there's endless bloody articles about it on the internet and everything, but you've got to look a certain way, you've got to be this certain size, have a set number of PMIs and whatever it all is. I don't know. It's over the top now. It's a shame, but there's nothing that can be done about it. You've got to think of the families and that, and unfortunately for the children, I don't know how many kids she's got, but it's a big loss. I say 32, younger than us. It is a strange one, really. But let's go on to a bit of a lighter note now. So I've recently come across this Twitter account called Fesshole. So it's people giving their secret confessions.
Oh, wait. Sorry, before you start, when we went to Amsterdam and so you just reminded me, and you go to the was it the Red Light Museum car? Yeah. So you can go into a booth and you can write your sex confessions. Like, yeah. And some of them were just like outrageous. And obviously you go into the confession box, you write it down.
Yeah.
Most people just put like where they was from, so like Brooklyn or where Scotland. But some of them, it's interesting to like. Some of them was just outrageous, and you think, no. But is that what this is kind of like?
Yeah, so it's
Well,
stuff like that.
But not
yeah.
like in a sex, or just it's just like a general.
Yeah. Well, since you've just said that, that reminds me of another one. So it was yesterday that I came across this one. A British guy lets his girlfriend sleep with other men while he's at work.
Like a cookout. Is that what it's
it-
called?
It is, but he's happy for his other half to have sex with other men while he's away at work, and says it's not cheating as he's involved. He's 36, she's 31. They'd only been together a couple of months when he'd suggested it as well. So, not that it says it in this article, but it makes me think, right, he's working away a lot. Is he already got hooking up with other women for him to suggest it? But it doesn't say that anyway.
People have weird kinks though, and like everyone's like.
Yeah, it's mad. I'm not kink shaming it or anything. I know. Yeah. I wouldn't do it anyway. But yeah, it just I saw it. I did have to laugh. I mean, if I could figure out how to put it on, then I'll put it on the YouTube sides. He's punching for starters. Yeah, I did have
And
to
he's
laugh.
the one who suggested.
He suggested it. So he goes away, works away, and then she'll hook up with other men, sending pictures. There's been a couple of FaceTime while they've been doing it and stuff. And after that as well, it's not that he's made that, but he suggested to her to do an OnlyFans account then as well, which he runs. So I think he had it in mind beforehand, really, because he's looked
It's a
at
business idea.
Yeah, and he's thought, I'll just test the waters. If she's happy sleeping with other men or other people, then I'll suggest about the OnlyFans, because obviously we know the money that these people can make. It is a bit not ridiculous, but it's the high earners, a lot of them anyway, aren't they? You know, good few.
And all of them in the top percent of something.
Yeah, they're always in the top 0.01%.
Yeah, and which I don't understand that, but so
I did find that a bit funny while I was looking at that the other day. So some of these vessels, a lot of them, they seem a bit made up, but you read them, you either laugh or you're a bit grossed out. So there's one here. My husband hates the smell of cat food, makes him puke. So whenever I need to rub one out, I feed the cat and he fucks off. We have the fattest cat in the street now. So that's on like two sides really. One that's like he's not satisfying her enough for her to just say.
That one seems fake because the way it's worded as well.
Yeah, but like it's like I'm in the mood. Come on, let's have a quickie. But no, she'd rather just bang out some cat food. He goes off to the pub or something, just so she can get the magic wand out or the rabbit or whatever. So, another one here, guys. I'll let you in on a secret. When you fuck a woman in the ass, the only thing we're thinking is, I need a shit. So yeah, that's again. I'm assuming it's a man. There's in my younger days. I rented a room from a hot older lady. She came on to me one day and we spent months having sex. She'd said, this may be fun, but it won't reduce the rent. I spent months trying to make her come so hard that she'd reduce the rent. She never did. Respect to that lady. So again, I feel like that's made up.
Yeah.
But, you know, fair play if he's been doing it. So what I'm thinking, if we get a bit of feedback from anyone, I'll happily scroll through and save some of these, and then we can do like a little Vest Hole segments, just a couple minutes of reading these tweets out.
And then do we think if it's real or fake?
Yeah, I mean we can discuss.
Yeah, I think I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, because I mean I've read a fair few of them. I do sit there, just having a little bit of a laugh. I mean it's like this one. So met a girl in a bar in 2007. She was heavily into Labour Party politics, so I pretended I voted Labour. Even claimed I was a Gordon Brown superfan. We started banging, and I was busted after 3 weeks when she found a picture of me with David Cameron on Facebook. Dumped. So it's like...
No, because if you hang around like with political parties, you ain't gonna say bad.
It's that, and it's like, you know, if you're that much of a Tory and you've got a picture of David Cameron on Facebook, surely she would have seen that before.
Schoolboy error, if that's true as well.
Yeah, you know, why you got a picture with a big fucker? So yeah, I thought that might be a fun
we should definitely do that
bit
one.
of a segment that we can do. I mean there's loads. Again, I giggled with this one the other day. I manage a girls' football team. They're not very good, and I don't get paid, but I have more enthusiasm for this bunch of shambolic 13-year-old girls than anything I've done in my entire life. I am a benign dictator in my own small universe. So
I can.
I get that. I do believe that, and I thought, is that someone that we know as well?
No.
That team's actually good.
He's a winner.
Yeah, they're winning things, aren't they?
Yeah.
So but I had a little laugh at that because I thought, is it him? Yeah, so I think that could be a good little segment.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, is there anything else that you want to bring up?
No, I think that's it for this week.
You got no rants or anything yourself, no?
No, I'm not the one.
I know.
What is there anything you want to get off your chest?
No. Yeah, we've done the stop oil stuff and that, haven't we? Yeah, so I think we'll call that a pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to tweet us, it's ActionJD. Send in an email. We didn't get any questions again this week, which is a shame. I was looking forward to one. But that's at realtalkingpod@gmail.com. They'll all be flashing up on the YouTube and that anyway. On the YouTube, it's Real Talking Podcast. Yeah, do all the like, the share, subscribe as well. If it's on Spotify and all that as well, don't just listen to it, download, because that helps with the analytics. Yeah, just send us messages. You know, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, crazy, just anything, big or small.
Yeah, any questions or whatever. So yeah.
Or your confessions.
Yeah, if you've got any confessions, actually, yeah.
And we depict if they're real or fake.
Yeah. Yeah. Want to hear some stories from you, if that's going to be the case as well. Then. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next week then.